It's absolutely incredible to comprehend that as Jesus stood in the shadow of the cross, just a few moments from his arrest, just a few hours from dying on the cross and all that agony and pain, that in John 17 he prayed for his disciples. In fact, in John 17 verse 16, he says, they, talking about his followers, his immediate followers right then, they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Well, if they weren't of the world, well, where were they from? Well, we have to understand that the word world, as used by Jesus here, is not the earth, the physical planet, but he's talking about, as 1 John 2:15 says, love not the world. He's talking about the domain of Satan, the control that Satan has to the extent that he does of the world and the presence of sin. His followers, Jesus says, my followers are not like that. They're supposed to be where I'm from. We, as Jesus followers, are supposed to be where he's from, not of a sinful domain, but of a spiritual home. Jesus then says next, sanctify them, which means to set them apart. In other words, here's the world. We're, as the old expression goes, we're in the world, but not of the world. So sanctify them, set them apart, even though we're in the world. Let's not be of the world. And Jesus says, sanctify them through your truth. Your word is truth. Now, obviously, we have to understand that when Jesus uses the word truth here, it's in contrast to the word false. The world is false. The word is truth. And not only do we know that his word is truth, but in John 16, verse 13, he says that there's a spirit of truth. In John 14, verse 6, he says, I am the truth. Everything that is true, everything that represents and tells us what the truth is spiritual, not of the world. You see, you go into the world, you'll find what is false. But you have to be armed with the Word of God. The very next verse, Jesus says, I'm sending them into the world. I'm sending my disciples into the world, and they need to be armed just like you and I need to be armed with the ammunition of the truth, because everything in the world that we face will tell us a lot of things that are false about the spiritual realm and about God and even about his word. We need to be set apart. We need to be prepared with truth. We need to be sanctified by his word, the truth.